So I just hold it like this,
Yeah,
and then just hit it with this, right?
yes,
Okay,
a few times.
3 times.
Yes.
Okay,
And then you try very quietly to put it back
back,
into the
right? Yeah.
Thank you, Megan. Good morning. And welcome to the Unitarian Coastal Fellowship. I'm Karen Baggett, and Susan Roberts and I are your worship leaders this morning. With us are accompanist Megan Smith and readers Megan Smith and Adam Grieco. We are glad to welcome you to our UCF worship service. Today's service will be a celebration of nature in poetry and music. Is it better? Is that better? Is it loud enough? I don't want to have to do that. Thank you to our tech team today, Barb and Dan, and a special welcome to those joining us on Zoom. Everybody wave to everybody on Zoom. And welcome visitors. Every week we are glad to welcome visitors, members, or friends who have not joined us for worship for a while. And if you are comfortable doing so, please take a moment now to say hello and introduce yourself so we can welcome you this morning. We'll bring you the microphone. That's not intimidating, is it? We'll bring you the microphone so those on Zoom can hear. Raise your hand if you'd like to introduce yourself. Nobody? Okay. And now Miriam Green has some announcements for us.
Good morning. The Board of Trustees, as the Safety Committee, is planning to have its first UCF fire drill on Sunday, November 5th. That is today. The day is not a secret. The time is, so pay attention. A recording of a fire alarm will be played in the children's class, and adults will help the children evacuate to the Salvation Army parking lot across the street. Please meet your children across the street, as both buildings will be evacuated in the drill. If you are parents with children in the Sally B. White Center, please do not go over there to get them. They are safe. They will be safe with adults who will escort them across the street and meet you in the Salvation Army parking lot. Notice the exits, the locations of the fire extinguishers if you know how to use one, and notice if someone sitting nearby might need help getting out of the building. Can you call 911 and calmly explain that there's a fire and give the address? Not today. Today, just pretend. Just pretend. Can you stop traffic on Church Street so people can cross the street safely? Please return to the sanctuary for a review of how it went and what needs to be done differently when we have the next drill. Don't miss the third film of the UCF Social Justice Film Series on Thursday, November 9th at 6:30. It will be in the sanctuary. The film is The Ties That Bind, a documentary about a Southern family's journey of conflict, loss, and adaptation in response to a family member's gender change. Admission is free, and so is the popcorn. We now invite everyone in the sanctuary to please silence your cell phone, and all those on Zoom, please turn off their cameras to reserve bandwidth. And now we invite everyone to greet your neighbor. Thank you.
Our opening words are a poem entitled The Boat Made of Poems by Philip Gross. Can everyone hear me? Okay. The boat made of poems sings and hums and talks and whispers to itself. It never sleeps. It groans. It shudders to the rhythm of the waves. Its timbers creak in the language of every port it has put into. The back chat, the patois, the babble. the babble, the smuggled rich lingo of each dockside bar. But hush, don't tell the captain or the bosun or the loosely rhyming crew. There's really nothing to it, poetry. Just air, hot air, and paper, oh, and skill, and love, and hope between them and the deep, dark, silent sea. Come, let us worship together.
Our chalice lighting this morning is number 448 in our gray hymnal, words by Christine Robinson. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. We also light a peace candle to remind ourselves that peace is a process that requires work, that peace is not merely an absence of conflict, but the presence of justice. And now, please stand and sing if you are willing and able. We don't care if you're able to sing, just... Our opening hymn is number 1068 in the TL hymn book. I think I've got it right side up. My blood doth rise in the roots of yon oak. Her sap doth run in my veins. Boundless my soul, like the open sky, where the stars forever have lain. Where the stars, where the stars, where the stars forever have lain. My hands hold the weavings of time without end. My sight as deep as the sea. Beating my heart sounds the measures of old and of love's eternity. That of love, that of love, that of love's eternity. I feel the tides as they answer the moon, rushing off a far distant sand. Winging my soul is the wind of my breast, and my love blows over the land. And my love, and my love, and my love blows over the land. My foot carries days of the old into new. Our dreaming shows us the way. Wondrous our faith settles deep in the earth, rising green to bring a new day. Rising green, rising green, rising green to bring a new day. Beautiful, thank you. Our Time for All Ages is from a website called goodandbeautiful.com. This series of nature poetry is available for free to download and print from the website. Here's a couple of pages before my printer died.
I'm so excited I get to be the first one to read this one. If I were a tree, I'd want to see a bird with a song on a branch of me. I'd want a quick little squirrel to run up and down and around for fun. I'd want the cub of a bear to call, and a porcupine big and a tree toad small. I'd want a katydid out of sight on one of my leaves to sing at night. And down by my roots, I'd want a mouse with 6 little mouselings in her house.
I Sat by the Sea by Ivy O. Eastwick. I sat by the sea. It called and cried. It spluttered and splashed on the harbor side. It rocked and rolled. It rose and fell. It tossed up sponge and weed and shell. I took them all 3 home, my dears, with spray in my eyes and the sound in my ears.
Grasshopper Green, poet unknown. Grasshopper Green is a comical chap. He lives on the best of fare. Bright little trousers, jacket, and cap. These are his summer wear. Out in the meadow, he loves to go, playing away in the sun. It's hopperty, skipperty, high and low. Summer's the time for fun. Grasshopper Green has a quaint little house. It's under the hedge so gay. Grandmother Spider, as still as a mouse, watches him over the way. Gladly he's calling the children, I know, out in the beautiful sun. It's hopperty, skipperty, high and low. Summer's the time for fun.
In our sacred space of joys and concerns, the trials and tribulations of life are more manageable when shared, and our joys will multiply when shared as well. I invite you to our stones and water ritual. We line up over by the wall and select stones or shells to represent our joys and concerns from the basket and gently place them into the chalice of water. Should you wish to share a personal joy or concern about a person in your life, there's a paper to fill out and place in the basket on the way to the chalice. After our ritual, I will read these personal joys and concerns to the congregation. Christina, I may need a little help reading the handwriting. Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, I have Shell to put in for Christina. For joys shared, we join you in celebration. For the sorrows and concerns spoken here, may you feel our sympathy and compassion. For all that remains unspoken, both joy and sorrow, may the caring of our community offer you both kindness and hope.
And now we'll sing the children out with our blessing song. It's a blessing I was born, and it matters what I do. What you know about God is a piece of the truth. Let the beauty you love be what you do, and you don't have to do it alone. It's a blessing I was born, and it matters what I do. What I know about God is a piece of the truth. Let the beauty you love be what I do, and we don't have to do it alone. It's a blessing we were born, and it matters what we do. We know about God is a piece of the truth. Let the beauty we love be what we do, and we don't have to do it alone.
Please join us for meditation in poetry and music. Our poem, Wild Geese by Mary Oliver, will be followed by The Feathered Ones Return, special music composed by Karen Baggett and performed by Megan Smith on flute and Karen on the piano. Wild Geese. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Nature poetry allows us to connect our hearts to the wonder and grace in the... Okay, that's all right. Is that all right? Okay. Nature poetry allows us to connect our hearts to the wonder and grace in the world around us. It speaks to our souls. Nature is all around us, and poetry helps us remember the sounds, smells, lights, colors, and textures that we may be taking for granted. It can help us find peace and greater meaning in our lives. Mary Oliver, in her book, A Poetry Handbook, says that poetry is a life-cherishing force, for poems are not words, after all, but fires for the cold, ropes let down to the lost, something as necessary as bread in the pockets of the hungry. We hope you find connection through the poems we share with you today.
This is Eagle Poem by Joy Harjo, who was a poet laureate for the United States. I don't remember the year, forgive me. Eagle Poem. To pray, you open your whole self to sky, to earth, to sun, to moon, to one whole voice that is you. And know there is more that you can't see, can't hear. Can't know except in moments steadily growing and in languages that aren't always sound, but other circles of motion. Like eagle that Sunday morning over Salt River, circled in blue sky, in wind, swept our hearts clean with sacred wings. We see you, see ourselves, and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. Breathe in, knowing we are made of all this, and breathe, knowing we are truly blessed because we were born, and die soon within a true circle of motion. Like eagle rounding out the morning inside us. We pray that it will be done in beauty, in beauty.
I came across this poem in a book by Richard Rohr called Spirituality and the 12 Steps. But it's written by that was Father Richard Rohr who wrote that, but he based the book, it's called Breathing Underwater, Spirituality in 12 Steps. And the poem that it's based loosely on is by Carol Blilick, Sister Carol Blilick, activist, Catholic nun, and Sufist. I built my house by the sea, not on the sands, mind you, not on the shifting sands. I built it of rock, a strong house by a strong sea. And we got well acquainted, the sea and I, good neighbors. Not that we spoke much. We met in silences, respectful, keeping our distance, but looking our thoughts across the fence of sand. Always the fence of sand, our barrier. Always the sand between. But then one day, I still don't know how it happened, the sea came. Without warning, without welcome even. Not sudden and swift, but shifting across the sand like wine. Less like the flow of water than the flow of blood. Slow, but coming. Slow like the flowing, but flowing like an open wound. I thought of flight. I thought of drowning. I thought of death. And while I thought, the sea crept higher till it reached my door. And I knew then there was neither flight nor death nor drowning. That when the sea comes calling, You stop being neighbors, well acquainted, friendly at a distance neighbors, and you give your house for a coral castle, and you learn to breathe underwater.
The Swan by Mary Oliver. Across the wide waters, something comes floating, a slim and delicate ship filled with white flowers, and it moves on its miraculous muscles as though time didn't exist, as though bringing such gifts to the dry shore was a happiness almost beyond bearing. And now it turns its dark eyes, it rearranges the clouds of its wings, it trails an elaborate webbed foot the color of charcoal. Soon it will be here. Oh, what shall I do when that poppy-colored beak rests in my hand? Said Mrs. Blake of the poet, I miss my husband's company. He is so often in paradise. Of course, the path to heaven doesn't lie down in flat miles. It's in the imagination with which you perceive this world, and the gestures with which you honor it. Oh, what shall I do? What will I say when those white wings touch the shore?
The Porch Over the River by Wendell Berry. In the dusk of the river, the wind gone, the leaves grow still, the beautiful poise of lightness, the heavy world pushing toward it. Beyond, on the face of the water, lies the reflection of another tree, inverted, pulsing with the short strokes of waves the wind has stopped driving. In a time when men no longer can imagine the lives of their sons, this is still the world of my time. The grind of engines marking the country like an audible map, the high dark marked by the flight of men, lights stranger than stars. The Phoebes cross and recross the openings, alert for what may still be earned from the light. The whippoorwills begin, and the frogs. The dark comes again, as it always has, and must. The look of the world withdraws into the vein of memory. The mirrored tree, darkening, stirs with the water's inward life. What has made it so? A quietness in it. No question can be asked in. The last light gathers on the face of the river. Now comes the sound of wings it has grown too dark to see. And now please remain seated while we sing hymn number 83, Winds Be Still, in the gray hymnal. Megan will play it through once before we begin. The Unitarian Coastal Fellowship practices share the plate. All cash and checks in the collection plate that are not designated as pledge money are split between UCF and a charity selected by the Social Justice Committee. For the month of November, the Social Justice Committee has selected the UUA Disaster Relief Fund for Share the Plate. The Disaster Relief Fund provides grant money to UU churches in areas where a natural disaster has occurred. Their funds are running low this year because there have been so many disasters. We received a $50,000 grant from this fund after Hurricane Florence to help those in our community. Please give as you can to help them be ready to help in future disasters. If you have an offering to make to support and sustain this congregation and all the ministries we serve in our ever-widening grace, please give generously. I invite the greeters forward to collect today's offering. Please join in blessing this offering with hymn number 402 from You I Receive. We'll sing it twice. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Please join me in reading the words on the screen behind me as we extinguish our flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now in Espanol. Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.
Please rise as you're willing and able to sing number 163 in the gray hymnal, For the Earth Forever Turning.
For the
remain standing. We would love for all of you, time permitting after something that might happen right after the service, to help create a poem using magnetic poetry. Please choose one or two words. It can stand alone, it can follow a word that somebody's already placed, it can precede a word that somebody's already placed. So we'll hope you have fun with this during coffee hour. Now, hold hands or bump elbows for our benediction. All right, we're looking good, looking good. Yeah, that's okay, that's okay. Okay, let's take a deep breath. These are the words of E. E. Cummings. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root, and the bud of the bud, and the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than the soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart. Go in peace, return in love.
All right, folks, this is a drill. Do not call 911, but go to the nearest exit and go across the street to the Salvation Army. If you have children in the Sally B. White Center, they'll meet you across the street.